Well, new this morning, dozens of Texas Democrats are waking up in Illinois and New York after leaving the state in a last-ditch effort to stop a congressional redistricting attempt. So Texas lawmakers were supposed to vote on those redrawn congressional maps today. But now, without the minimum number of lawmakers present, they can't conduct business. And the governor of Texas is threatening some major consequences.
We're here to demand an end to this corrupt process.
Texas Democrats are plotting their next steps after breaking quorum and fanning out across the country.
As they say back in Texas, I think it's time we need to cowboy up and get to work and push back.
The revolt comes as Texas considers a rare mid-decade redrawing of the congressional districts ahead of the 2026 midterms. At stake, 5 seats in the House of Representatives. The proposed maps by Texas Republicans would create those seats by redrawing them to lean Republican. If successful, it could help Republicans expand their slim majority in the House. But the move is considered a nuclear option.
And it's a dangerous thing. Once one state does it, there's nothing to stop another state on the other side of the aisle from also doing that.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott seems set on making it happen, threatening to remove Democrats who left the state to block the vote from office if they don't return. Abbott also writing in a letter late Sunday that they could face felony charges for raising money to pay for fines and expenses while out of state. And Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who's running for Senate, also signaling his support, saying Democrats should be found, arrested, and brought back to the Capitol immediately. But Democrats from Texas and around the country say they're ready for the fight, with Democratic National Committee Chair Ken Martin vying to ramp up the pressure on NewsNation's The Hill Sunday.
What Texas is doing right now is a craven power grab. And as I said, we're going to fight fire with fire. If Texas wants a showdown, which they clearly do, we're going to give them the showdown. And I've talked with a number of Democratic governors around the country, and as you can tell, they're already preparing to follow suit here.
Joining us now is Democratic Texas State Representative Vikki Goodwin of Austin, Texas. Vikki, good morning. You know, I heard you left the state. Would you mind sharing what compelled you to do so and where you are now?
Well, I and my colleagues are determined to not let Trump order Governor Abbott to rig our congressional districts. We feel like democracy is on the line. If we allow this to happen this time, what's to stop Governor Abbott or other governors to redistrict every other year and to try to continually change and rig our system?
So I wanted to ask you, before we get into some of the details of this, and thank you for outlining that, you know, Democrats who don't attend the special session, as outlined in the report, they face up to a $500 daily fine. The Texas Attorney General now calling for the arrest of any Democrat who abandoned their duties. Are you concerned? And also, how do you see this playing out?
I am concerned, and my colleagues are as well, but we feel, again, that this is such an important issue. We can't stand by and just let the Republicans run over us with these maps that really are meant to get 5 more Republicans in Congress because Trump is desperate. His policies are unpopular, the tariffs, laying off so many people, the big ugly bill. It's all bad, and he's worried that he will lose control of Congress. And so therefore he's trying to manipulate the maps, and that's not true democracy.
Well, let's get into the arguments coming from both sides here. So we had the chair of the Democratic National Committee, Ken Martin, weighing in. We heard a bit just earlier. This is what he told Chris Steyerwald on the Hill.
The reality is what we've seen already is a craven power grab, an unconstitutional power grab in my mind. It does not give them the power to essentially redraw the lines whenever the hell they want to do it.
Now, on the other side, you do have lawmakers making the argument, you know, the Texas House Select Committee on Congressional Redistricting voted to advance these maps. Texas Republicans hold majorities in both chambers and the governor's mansion. This wouldn't be a rigged outcome. It would be the outcome of majorities. What do you say to that argument?
You know, it's hard to know how voters are going to vote, but I've looked at the maps. My district, the district that I live in, would go all the way from central Texas to the coast. So, and all of the districts are just obvious blatant gerrymandering, more so than what we currently have. The maps weren't even released until after 3 hearings that were held in Austin, Houston, and Arlington. So the people who came to testify couldn't see where their district lines were at the time they were testifying. It was simply to say that, no, they don't believe that we should be redistricting right now. We redistricted in 2021. We don't have new census data. So how are we going to know where the population is? And that's really not what this is about. It's simply a power grab.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.